that thrived under Uighur rule. When Mongol rebels invaded the city at the end of the 8th century, the inhabitants were forced to flee, and eventually the city was completely deserted. Over 2,000 years ago, these same walls here belonged to a palace in the kingdom of Jushi. People here used to build their houses underground so as to be able to use the soil as their walls. Wow, these steps are killing me. But if I were walking down these same steps, right above me would be 2 stories and I would be in the basement. Talk about integrating nature with architecture. Brilliant. It's so serene being here. There's a cool breeze in the air. The sun's about to set. I wonder what it would be like for the same people living here watching that sunset over 2,000 years ago. You can almost hear the ladies preparing dinner, the children at play, and the husbands coming back to work. You know, at times like these, I really wish I could have seen it, and it would be great if somebody invented a time machine. On the first leg of our Xinjiang journey, I've been amazed by just how engaging and friendly the Uighur people are. They've embraced our arrival and welcomed us into their lives with open arms, shown us their culture, and given us the opportunity to share it. It really made me want to learn more about their lives and their great heritage, and I was given the opportunity at Jiaoguo. According to historical records, it was once home to 700 households, 6,500 residents, and 865 soldiers. I can still see the outline of the city gates, military bases, and homes of this once magnificent city.
Dostlar oynaylik, hiç kime chatta kalmasın. Kimler dostlar oynaylik, hiç kime chatta kalmasın. Kimning mayli kimda bo'lsa qo'yib bering o'ynasın. Kimning mayli kimda bo'lsa qo'yib bering o'ynasın.
A very typical village in Turpan is associated with a not-so-typical history. Overshadowed by the Fire Mountain, Tuyoq was once a center of Buddhism, but in time, it became a predominantly Muslim community. In 1905, a German explorer came and settled here, attracted by its rich religious heritage. In fact, around the same time, Turpan was attracting many visitors curious about the culture and lives of the people here. Long ago, 5 visitors came from Arabia to Tuyoq in search of Allah, but during the journey they were followed by villains. The 5 men fled and met a shepherd during their escape, who became the first Chinese Islamic convert. He took them to a cave to hide, but afraid that his dog might accidentally give their location away, he beat his dog. But still, it returned, even with all its legs broken. Moved by the dog's loyalty, they eventually let it stay. When they emerged, they realized that 300 years had passed. The locals were curious and went in search of the group, but while their cave was discovered, the group was never seen again. Today, in Tuyoq, The place where the 7 holy beings were last sighted is one of the most important Muslim holy places in the East. I've been told that the Tuyoq tombs are listed as a holy place in the Quran. While there are a lot of foreigners that come here every year, it's especially important to the local Muslim community in Xinjiang. The locals here built their homes around the tombs, and they feel honored to do so. These homes, they're 400 years old. Imagine living in a home passed down from your great-great-great-grandparents more than 400 years back. Well, that's the Uighur way. They continue to live in their ancestors' home in the traditional manner. You'll find furniture and utilities that date back years. I don't think half my furniture now would last that long. They really don't make things like they used to. Walking through the neighborhood, I feel as though I'm being transported back to a time and place where things were less complicated and unpretentious, and where neighbors really were, well, neighbors. But it's time to say goodbye to this peaceful village and journey to the west in search of the infamous Fire Mountain. This part of the Tian Shan Mountains is called Fire Mountain, aptly named because the weather here is fiery hot, and at times the mountain glows like a blazing flame. In the Chinese classic Journey to the West, you'll remember Fire Mountain as the mountain the monk Xuanzang crossed on his journey to India in search of Buddhist scriptures. How difficult it must have been in the past for Xuanzang and later for generations of the local Uyghurs to scale this mountain. I've been asking around, and apparently the Uyghur minority in Korla live differently than the ones in Turpan. So let's go see. Come on. Bye, Turpan! From Turpan, we go by road to Korla. From Urumqi, it's about 200 kilometers southwest by plane. Lying beside the Talamu, a very important river in Xinjiang, Korla is a combination of grassland, desert, and the Gobi. And what better way to see that than by plane? So we strap our cameraman on board and give him the task of showing you a bird's eye view of the Talamu River. Few of the Lobu, a subgroup of the Uighur ethnic group, still live in the nearby village. When the lake dried up, most moved on in search of greener pastures. You can also see the lower reaches of the now dry Lobu Lake from here. Most of the lake is now part of the Gobi Desert. Our cameraman really got to see how the natural landscape had changed over the years. Whew, it's hot. Look what I have though. It's a traditional all-weather Lobu hat. See, over winter, they put it over their head like this, so it covers their ears and, helps them keep warm. But over summer, they lift it up, so it's a lot cooler. And if they're trying to block out the sun, whoop, there's even a solution to that. Now I'm gonna find myself some sheep to tend to. Probably not gonna use that. That's more my thing. I'm a bit of a speed demon, so I think I managed to scare the owner of the four-wheeler I'm in. You should have heard his sigh of relief when I stepped on the brakes.
Yal geçayni Şeylimin düşüp birden Şeylimin düşüp birden Gider insan kalır dünya
Boston Lake is actually made up of two lakes, Big Boston Lake and its younger sibling. You guessed it, Small Boston Lake. The larger of the two is where most of the fishing is done, while the smaller is a place where you can make waves or just take a slow cruise, enjoying the natural landscape that passes you by. So hot out. I think I need some wind in my hair. I need to get on the speedboat and go for a ride. So jump aboard and let's go. Come on, let's put some ripples in this water. Put my feet up. See you later. There's nothing like the feeling of being on board a speedboat crashing through the water. If you slow down a little, you'll see the congregation of lotus flowers and families of ducks feeding in the calmer areas of the water. With the wind in my hair, this leg of the journey is both exciting and peaceful, a real treat for my senses. We've been to the Gobi Desert, the Flaming Mountain, and now we're at the Lake Boston, surrounded by mangroves and mountains. The Uighur community has been so inviting and warm, and it has been the most amazing journey. Well, I'm off for now, but I'll see you next week. And keep traveling with me, Michelle Lean, on Travelogue.